All right, y'all. Once again, we are back one more time. Click like, click subscribe. It's your man's Aaron Tolan. So now officially, I'm gonna do my top 10 pickups for 2025. Now, I would probably say this would be a pair no brainer, but since they didn't arrive till after 2025, I can't really. Even though they would definitely make the list, but I copped them early, but they didn't arrive until after. So yeah, they got to go over here in the corner. But definitely a hot pickup for 2025. And then actually the other pair that's coming, um, yeah, I can't put them on the list because that's a 2026 cop also. But getting right into it, we're gonna do my official top 10 pickups for 2025, and then I'm going to do the honorable mentions. So we're gonna be here for a quick minute. I don't want to do this pair first because it's too obvious. So I'm just gonna go box by box. So I gotta say the honorable mention and top cop for 2025 was definitely the black metallic Jordan 5, which I doubled up on these. So one pair has the black laces, one pair has the white laces, but I figured, yeah, if there's a shoe, if I actually doubled up on a couple this year, but this is definitely one that you would want to double up on, man. The reflective panels, the 3M reflective, this right here, top notch, man. No squeaking with these as opposed to the other pair. And I am getting used to the white laces. I didn't really like them at first, but they work. So yeah, black metallic Jordan 5. This was my second time copping these. Because I copped a pair that squeaked back in, I think it was 2014. Yeah, dope shoe. Takes me back to middle school. So, next pair. This pair was a definite cop for me. The Jordan 3 Black Cat. Yeah, now, this was a shoe that like I said, I avoided these when they first came out. But this glossy patent leather with the suede look, man, and they really should have. Oh, why? Why? This would have been perfect, but dope pair of shoes, man. I barely break these out, man, and I actually copped these from Chicago Emporium. These were early cop because I wasn't about to wait on these, and so actually that goes into one of my honorable mentions, which would definitely be the Air Jordan 4 Black Cat, which individual wrapping, so bear with me. Yeah, this would definitely be an honorable mention. It's hard to say if I like this pair better than the 3. I mean, the Nike Air is kind of what seals it, but I do think this glossy finish would have probably been. Now, if they put that on these, yeah, probably having a different conversation. This one is a little more rough and tumble, but that's kind of seals it for me. But these were definitely a hot cop for 2025, so glad to have these in hand, and I barely break these out also. So next pair, getting it in. We gotta move quick, man. It's just a long video. I gotta say it. The Nike Foamposite Galaxies. Definitely one of my exclusive pickups for this year. I want to say the first one, to be honest. I got these on from Kicks Crew. I tried to get them on sneakers, which, yeah, I already knew that was going to be a wrap because sneakers app. With certain shoes, man, you just know. One of these days, I'm going to hit for something big like this, but yeah, it's not too often. But cop these from Kicks Crew. Just a dope shoe. And actually, when the Galaxies first released, I was not into Foamposites at all. My very first pair of Foamposites, if you haven't seen that video, was the Chuck Posit with the Gamma Green colorway. I thought those were fire. I had to cop those to rep with a Hulk shirt, and that was probably the most expensive pair of shoes that I owned at that time. Much has changed, but apparently, yes, this shoe right here definitely one of my favorite pickups for 2025, and yeah, I really like that shoe a lot. So keeping it moving. This is the pair that I meant to say. Yes, right here. This one, no brainer. And a double up. Double up, definitely. The Air Jordan 4 White Cement OG with the speckled Nike Air on the back, which I thought was a fire touch for these. This is my work pair because I got a scuff mark on the back of these. But I don't wear these to my current job, but this is just my kick around pair, and then my other pair just stays in the box. But this, to me, was one of my favorite pickups, second favorite pickup after the Galaxies, just because the leather on these shoes was so solid. That is the best part of the shoe. I don't care what nobody says. The leather on the 2016 pair was absolutely trash. Trash. This pair right here, this leather is so sturdy. There's mild creasing on this. I done wore these a ton of times. Like, you can see that right there, and that's still not that bad. No, the leather on these was absolutely spot on. It was perfect. This was actually an early cop too from Sniper Kicks. And then I actually got the second pair from Snipes. The irony. But yeah, definitely one of my favorite pairs from 2025. I might say that for a bunch of these. You sound like Fomer Simpson. But yeah, real talk. This was definitely one of my favorite cops for that year. Again, like I said, so much that I doubled up on them. So let's see. My next pair, I'm gonna put these over here because people probably already know what they're gonna be. So the next favorite cop of 2025 was the Air Jordan 1 Bread Band, I guess we'll call these. So once again, shout out to Sniper Kicks. This was a pair that I wanted so bad, and in Detroit, the raffles were very exclusive for these, man. It was like, you not getting them. Practically. The stores that had them here, the main store that had it here pretty much was like, nah, we only selling to loyal customers. You're not going to come in here and get a pair of these. And they were extremely limited. I absolutely love this shoe. Just the colorway, the shape of it. Honestly, I think I like these better than the Lost and Found. Not too much better, but a little bit better. But just a comfortable shoe, very clean. The form is different. It sometimes gets crazy up here, but for the most part, dope shoe. Loved it. Glad to have it in hand. Shout out to Sniper once again. All right, moving, man. We moving. Next pair that I gotta say was one of my favorite pickups of 2025. I love this shoe so much that I doubled up on this one too. But the double up for this one was basically due to sizing. So first pair I copped of these, the Air Jordan 3 A Mama Near Diffused Blue. I absolutely love this shoe right here, man. Love the colorway, love the design, love the fit. The comfort is amazing. A Mama Near, obviously. But I copped the first pair of these in a size 8 from the Lick in San Bernardino. Shout out to them. And then my second pair I copped from my crew is Sneaker Hustle USA. That's my squad, man. They never let me down, bro. But they had a pair of 8.5, so I said I got to pull the trigger and cop these, man, because I just wanted to see the difference in my size. So now the 8 pair I may keep or flip. I may keep these though, just to, for the nostalgia of it. Because once I decide to just sell the whole collection, they're gonna definitely be in the fold. But this was a definite dope cop. Very clean, very comfortable, extremely comfortable actually. And yeah, just love the color for sure, man. One of my favorite A Mama Nears. So, keeping it moving, y'all. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm going to leave one as my number 2. Leave one as my number 2. Whatever, y'all get what I'm saying. So, going into the next cop of 2025, which I must say, yeah, I got to put these on the list for sure. the Air Jordan 4 Undefeated, which also another cop from Sniper Kicks. This is a pair that I just really was into this year. The colorway, the tongue, the shoestrings, I really was just like, yeah, I really like these. Very nicely done. The suede upper is just spot on, man. I've only worn these probably twice since I've copped them. But I absolutely dig these, man. And I think I remember when the original collab happened, but back then my Jordan knowledge was limited to 1 through 14 exclusives, stuff like this. I was like, yeah, I'm not an entertainer, so I probably wouldn't even know how to cop a pair of these. But now that I've learned about consignment and learned about dead stock and resale, yeah, now I'm invested. But this was definitely a dope pair. I had to cop these ASAP, and Sniper had these for a very decent price. So yes, absolutely, Jordan 4 Undefeateds make the list for sure. Now we are getting into, technically these should be an honorable mention, but considering how dope they were to me and how bad I wanted them, I gotta throw them in there, man. Now again, this is my list. You don't have to agree. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna always agree. We can agree to disagree. But this pair right here was one I wanted really bad, and I gotta say, I think this was just a dope cop. Some people are gonna see my honorable mentions and feel like I should replace them for these, but hey, again, this is my list, so whatever. But I have to say that the Air Jordan 4 Rare Air, or I should say the Rare Air Jordan 4, was one of my favorite cops of this year. When I saw the pictures of these from the get-go, I was like, yeah, I want those really badly. And copped these from Finish Line Exclusive Access. And I just absolutely dig the colorway. I dig the design. These are basically the Jordan 4 Bred, just reimagined and done up a certain type of way. But the colors are fire. These really low-key remind me of the Black Piston 6s. I could wear these with Pistons gear, honestly. But this is one of my favorite pickups for 2025. Very comfortable shoe. I break these out from time to time, but I really dig these a lot. So, yeah. Rare Air Jordan 4, absolutely. So now we get to our last two cops. Now, this one might be my favorite cop of 2025. Wait, yeah, I would say it's my favorite cop of 2025. No, did I say that about the Foam Posits? Okay, these are my first favorite cop. Foam Posits would be second, which is crazy, but it's just real. These I wanted so bad. So bad. Once again, shout out to Sniper Kicks. The Air Jordan 4 Nike SB Midnight Navies. These, yeah. I wanted these probably more than the first pair. First pair I copped from GOAT. Because really I didn't have no other option. Because I really wasn't up on Sniper and Fine Line and everybody else at the time. But these, when I found out they were coming out in this colorway, yeah, absolutely. This really probably is my favorite cop of 2025. If I run down that list, so I would say these first, Galaxy second, Breads third, and then everything else underneath it. But these are definitely fire, definitely a dope fit. Still kind of got a new shoe sent to it. Always the selling point on these. I'd barely break these out the box, man. Strictly summer for these, for real. But love this shoe, dig it, colorways fire. I was planning to rock these for the Michigan-Ohio State game, but of course my new job had me working on that Saturday, so I wasn't able to do it. But I got a whole fit for these and everything. But definitely a clean shoe, very dope. And low-key is foreshadowing, actually that's a nice little play on words, foreshadowing what's coming next week. So yeah, dope shoe. Gotta give it up. So now, even though this is probably not one of my favorite cops of the year, This is definitely a shoe. It's pretty obvious at this point what it would be. Um, yeah, this was a pair that I actually saw, and it totally changed my mind on this shoe, and I had to cop these. Y'all know what it is. We got the Air Jordan 4 Nigel Sylvester brick by brick. And of course, I did not prep for this video. Everything raw and uncut. But yeah, this is a pair that I really was not, I was like kind of iffy on them. Like whatever, till I actually saw them up close. And I just saw all the craftsmanship that went into them. The colorway was dope. I was like, yeah, I gotta get these. I copped these from Soul Priorities. This was actually my first cop from them. A couple honorable mentions is coming too on the way. And I'm sorry, I'm at 15 minutes. But yeah, these definitely made the list for sure. Definitely one of the sneakers of the year, actually. I really can't dispute that. Actually, if you think this is the sneaker of the year, I would not argue with you. Definitely dope colorway, dope scheme. Kind of looking forward to more colorways like this, more collabs. Honestly, again, like I said, I wish that they had done this with his signature shoe in this actual silhouette. Can you imagine all of the colorways that we would have in the Jordan? I'd have probably bought every pair. I would have bought every pair of Nigel Sylvesters if they did it with this. And that may be the reason why they didn't do it, because that would have just been overkill. But definitely a dope sneaker. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so now I got to run through this next list because it's a lot of stuff, bro. Got to get through these. So I got some honorable mentions. Try to do these real quick. Even though I copped these, I copped these after the holiday, so I can go ahead and say honorable mention the Jordan 3 Soul 2.0. Definitely honorable mention for top cops in 2025. Yeah, it's a dope shoe. Just got these from Sniper Kicks also. Sniper might be running this list, to be honest, man, because he been supplying me with a lot of heat. So definitely an honorable mention going forward. This video is long as hell. Keeping it moving though. So the next honorable mention, I gotta go with the Air Jordan 5 Awake New York in black. Didn't have the pink ones. I don't know if I would. I like the pink ones. I would cop them for the, but I don't really rock pink like that. These cop from Soul Priorities, and I just love this shoe, man. This is really one of my favorite 5s in my collection, bro. That leather, the stitching, the A, which, you know, Aaron, Awake, whatever. The New York stitching, Awake on the tongue with the Jumpman. These are definitely in that lineup of exclusive pairs. I think all my exclusives are actually on this list, to be real. Yeah, I think so. But this pair definitely honorable mention for sure. Keeping it moving. I'm sorry, y'all, but roll with me, man. We got a lot. Second honorable mention, I might just do these two together. The top cops of 2025. Jordan 11 Gammas and the Jordan 11 Rare Air. Yeah, again, first pair ever of Gammas, because when these came out, they came out after the Space Jam, so I really wasn't impressed, and I just didn't feel like I needed them. But now, yeah, that patent leather cut on these just makes these rock so hard. I don't even know when I'm gonna pull these out. These are just a clean shoe, very dope. I'm really into the colorway, and yeah, cop these from Finish Line. Rare Air Jordan 11. Yeah, this colorway, as soon as I saw it, I was like, yeah, gotta get it. These sold out instantly, and rightfully so. Kansas Jayhawks colors, to me, that's the first team that pops in my head. But yeah, dope shoe, clean. Cop these also from Soul Priorities. So yeah. All right, we are moving, y'all. We moving. The Jordan 5 Tokyo. Yeah, honorable mention, man. Should be on the list, actually. But Yeah, I had to go with like my absolute favorites. Yeah, some I could replace these. I'm pretty sure a couple of the honorable mentions could probably replace the rare Air Force against my list. But yeah, these are definitely hot, and especially with the white shoestrings, man, that pops for sure. Black ones do too. Don't get me twisted. Black ones do too, but I just like them better with the white laces. All right, let's see. We are getting through here. Almost done, y'all. I promise. I gotta say, this was definitely an honorable mention. Also, the Jordan 1 Union LA Chicago Shadow. Shout out to Sneaker Hustle USA for these. We had a nice little shipping debacle with one pair, and then they just went and sent these through. Clean shoe, love the colorway, love the design. I'm really digging the Frankenstein stitching, at least that's what I call it. Yellow laces up top. These don't really come out that often either, but I really dig these, man. Glad to have these in hand. And on another exclusive pair that I think this was one of my first exclusive cops for that year. So, yeah, dope shoe, dope colorway. Alright. My last 4 honorable mentions are not going to really blow your socks off too much, but they mine. You know what I mean? It is what it is. The Jordan 5 Fire Red. Yeah. These, yeah. I always like these shoes. I had an early pair or an old pair back in 2014 that I bought for resale from Sneaker Legends. Shout out to them. I copped these from Chicago Emporium early. So I had these probably like 2 or 3 weeks early before they actually came out. But dope shoe, clean, love them. Still love these, man. And keeping in the tradition of those, I gotta go with the Jordan 5 Grapes. Nike Air on the back too, man. Cop these from Finish Line exclusive access. I do like these better than the Fire Reds, and I do think these might be one of the greatest fives of all time, truthfully. Charlotte Hornet colors. I got my Dale Curry jersey. Can't wait to break that out with these. But yeah, these were definitely a dope pickup for 2025. I actually postponed the whole trip to Cedar Point to cop these, so, or held up a trip, we'll say. But anyway, my last 2 pair that I have to give homage to for 2025 cops. I want to say this was a 2025 cop. I could be way off. I'm gonna be mad if it's not. Nope, these are 2024, bro. But anyway, I don't even care, man. I'm running them. Honorable mention, the Jordan 12 flu game definitely was one of my favorite cops of recent years, we'll say. But yeah, I did realize these were 2024, but they still gonna make the list. I don't care. Shoot me. These are dope. Never had these, never wanted these actually when they came out, but yeah, you know, it's like I said, this year Jordan has released some just gems, classics. I think this was the year of the head. Even though like the head as far as like your sneaker head and your love of sneakers and just your love of kicks that you never got, as tedious as it was, because they was just dropping bangers back to back, this was still that year for the collectors, man. If you did not have pairs in your collection, this was the year to get it. So definitely a top pick. And last but not least, because I got to do it, keeping in the tradition, the Jordan 12 Taxis, man, which surprisingly are sitting. Does it matter to me? Not really. As long as they sitting on my feet, I don't care. These were, yeah, I really thought about these a lot before I was able to actually cop them. Explain that story on the video, but definitely one of my favorite pickups of this year. Shout out to Snipes for these. Again, this was my second pair of Air Jordans ever. My mother bought me my first pair of these, and I'll never forget that. Because I was not expecting her to do that day. We was just going to Birch Run to look around as far as I was concerned. But she actually planned to buy me these. So, actually, my mom bought me these and the Flint, my first pair of Flint Grays. Yep, she bought me my first pair of Flint Grays. Um, Now she probably would never buy me a pair of Jordans again. Not that she needs to. But yeah, but this pair definitely fire, concludes the list right here. My top 25 picks with some honorable mentions, or top 10 picks of 2025. And I'm just going to go ahead and conclude with this pair right here. Just, yeah, this is like an honorable mention slash low-key top cop for 2025, but they didn't arrive then, so, you know, I gotta kind of let it be. Sort of like how I put Pac and Biggie at the top of my hip-hop list of all time. I can't really split them up because they were just, yeah, that's what these are right now. But the Jordan 3 Soulfly Miami slash Fruits of Our Labor, or Fruits of Our Labor slash Miami. Shout out to Sniper, Bird Kicks. Bird, my bad, bro. Bird Kicks. Shout out to him because he put the legwork in for these, man. And I have to definitely give him a shout out. And again, this really caps off my exclusive cops for 2025 and going into 2026, because these are rare and clean, and yeah, summertime for sure. Y'all know what it is. Aaron Tolan, I'm just gonna call him Aaron Tolan. YouTube, y'all know what it is. Click like, click subscribe. Once again, I got some more heat coming in next week, so we'll be doing another video for those. Tune in. I appreciate the love, and yeah, y'all know what it is. Holla at your boy. One.